OpenAI's new GPTs have opened a world of possibilities when it comes to business automations. If you don't want to get left behind, the time is now to figure out how to customize and integrate these things into your business. I'm going to walk you through how I set up my own market research GPT that I'll be able to refer to whenever I'm working on targeting or segmentation within the market. Hi, my name is Zaria, and I'm the founder of Chain Solutions, an AI automation agency. What we do is work with businesses to figure out their most time-consuming processes and develop complete automations to reduce their workload. If you are interested in automating your business, go ahead and click the link below to book a consultation with me. The goal of this GPT is to develop a carefully designed research assistant that essentially functions like an extension of my team. I want this GPT to already have knowledge about my business and all my specifications. In addition, I want the GPT to already know who we're trying to target and what type of marketing strategies I've been using. To do so, we're going to need to go through a couple of steps to create, fine-tune, and optimize this GPT. I'm going to take you through it in a few minutes. So first, let's figure out what exactly a GPT is. GPTs are custom versions of the original ChatGPT software designed specifically for your use cases. So they combine instructions, knowledge bases, and other skills for maximum efficiency. Knowledge bases are essentially information that you can provide that the GPT will reference when you ask it to recall, whatever it may be. So all of these things combined make for a totally new playing field. So let me show you just a couple of things that this GPT can do before we go into the step by step. I downloaded my analytics straight off of YouTube, and I'm going to upload them to GPT so that it can incorporate that in the knowledge base. And from that point forward, it'll be able to recall that information if I ever ask for any data on how to better market my videos or what tags to include in the description to increase the likelihood of ranking, any information like that. So I will upload this file and add a bit of a prompt. These are my findings, or these are my lifetime YouTube analytics for my automation channel. Please provide an initial findings report and use the data in the future to help optimize my YouTube videos. So with this information, you are essentially enlisting a social media manager and an analyst. But let's submit this and see what the original report or the initial report looks like. Okay, so just from that information, GPT was able to define the popular topics, some engagement metrics, whatever video had the highest click-through rate, the longest viewer duration, which videos have peaked interest, areas for improvement, new trends, and a content strategy suggestion. It also notes that it will continue to use this information in the future to tailor its responses. So, having this, let's save it, go back to the front end, and ask some questions about my YouTube channel. Let's start off simple. What was my most popular YouTube video? It has returned a specific video. Also, a little bit disrespectful. While it's not the highest in terms of impressions or click through rate, it does determine, okay, a little bit of attitude, but the information is correct nonetheless. Next, I downloaded an article from Oxford about consumer psychology, and we are going to upload that to the market artisan and ask. We are going to upload that to the market artisan and ask for a full report and suggestions based on the data. The report has uploaded and the prompt reads, please analyze this article and use it to draft recommendations and actions that I should take to appeal to my ICP, which I have already defined. And when I was making this GPT the very first time, I went through a sequence where I defined the ICP, so it should already know that information. Apparently, this article examines various psychological models and their application in understanding consumer behavior. All of that information can be applied in understanding choice and conflict situations, influence of environmental factors, blah, 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 blah. You can pause to read if you're interested. And then, as I requested, GPT also provided some recommendations and actions that I need to engage in for my own business. So let's get into how to actually build this, because I think you can already tell this is a very powerful piece of information. And if you have tailored it to your business, it functions like an extension of an employee. And I would argue that not even argue, it definitely can do more than an employee can do much faster. So let's get into how to design. Step one is defining the role. Right off the bat, the GPT needs to know what it's doing. What job do you want to assign the GPT within your company or your business? So, provide a job, provide an action, and provide a goal. If you want to be more specific, you can also include what the metrics of that goal look like or the ways in which you want the format to be provided. But keep in mind, GPT runs through this sequence with you. So as you're developing, if you look to the right, you can see that the GPT leads you through this process. I'm just trying to help you provide the most specific information so that you aren't constantly having to go back and edit the responses, and so that this really becomes like an employee and not just a GPT that can do certain things but isn't personalized for your goals. So the job is highlighted in blue, a top level market research executive. The action is in red, leading the market research efforts, and the goal is to better understand how to reach out to the market. That is highlighted in yellow. So you can see that the GPT starts this dialogue. This is just what I respond with, and then it continues to pitch a name, which it'll do every time. Okay, so I provide all of that initial information. Here's a self referential script that the market artisan wrote up about what its role and goals are. You can note the things that I highlighted in yellow that are specific features of the job that it needs to consistently carry out. So, data driven strategies for niche market optimization, providing strategic advice, predicting customer needs, developing targeted communication strategies, and recommending effective market penetration techniques. All right, so I proceeded to test out the GPT a little bit, and I asked it to draft up a cold message to send through Instagram DMs. So if you look up at the top, you can see the message reads, "Hey," at their Instagram handle. "I'm your name from your company. We've been following your work in their industry and area and are impressed. We see a great partnership opportunity here. Let's talk about it." So the three stop icons indicate vagueness. As I mentioned before, I want this GPT to be an employee of my company. An employee of my company would know what my name is and would know what the name of the company is. They would also know what our industry is, but I also want the DM to already acknowledge the fact that we are targeting event service providers. So that is an issue. And then the line that is underlined in red, it's lacking detail. That's not compelling to any business owner. They don't know what that means. So those are some initial issues that I picked out. And then more importantly, above all of this is super like not memorable at all. This is not very interesting. Like I said, it's not compelling, and I want to fix that. So I proceeded to optimize the GPT with the responses that I got from the testing. I realized that the GPT did not understand enough about my company. Actually, I didn't realize that. I already knew that. I didn't provide that much information about my company, but it needed to know more. And I didn't want to put myself through the hassle of trying to figure out what I needed to provide and what information was irrelevant. So I asked the GPT to tell me essentially what information it needed to do. So I prompted, I want you to operate as an employee of my business. To do so, you need to facilitate a sort of onboarding to learn everything about my company and your role. Please commence an interview sequence to onboard and train yourself for this position. I requested a self scripted training interview. Okay, you can see here, this is a summary of all the questions that I asked in the interview. I'm not going to screenshot them and put them here. It was like 15. I just answered them all with the information from my business. Here's a summary of the information that it was trying to get from me, though. The objective of the interview was to gather essential public level information about the company, avoiding sensitive or private details, to align market research and strategy suggestions with the specific needs and context of your business. Key areas of focus were company background, short-term goals, long-term goals, and marketing strategies. This approach was structured to create a comprehensive understanding of the company while respecting the need to keep certain information public. Would you like to make any adjustments or proceed with further questions? I also specified that I didn't want to include like super private information. After doing all of those things, this GPT is now able to function like an extension of my team. So let's ask it a couple questions to see just how well it knows my company. Write a highly informative bio about my company for front-facing brand positioning. I don't know if that combination of words is actually like grammatically correct. Okay, my computer died, but let's just run it again. Write an informative bio for our agency, appeal to my ICP. It has written this super long, clunky, girl, nobody's gonna read that. All right, needs to be significantly more concise and to the point. I know that kind of sounds redundant, but sometimes with these GPTs, you have to be redundant or they're never gonna get the point. All right, a much more refined bio has been produced. And in the future, I actually will come over to this tab, edit the GPT, and note that the conciseness, I don't know if that's a word, but it needs to be consistently short. I don't want to have to tell it not to write 3 or 4 paragraph copies for marketing purposes. Nobody's going to read that. It's time for you to start developing your own GPTs. These things are so efficient and can cut down so much time within your routine. Just these, not even any other automation integrations. And we haven't even gotten into actions, but you can build GPTs that actually will do things in addition to just providing text. So if you haven't started to work with this software, I strongly urge you to do so now. If you are looking to automate your business, you are ready to get ahead, you are not trying to fall behind, click the link below. You can book a consultation with me completely free. Thanks.